Dun, dun, dun. All right. Welcome in. We're talking football. It's a nice, smooth jazz NBA Wednesday. No, but the Warriors are playing. But okay, we have to do our Week 12 picks. Usually we do them on Thursdays. If not, Friday. We get maximum analysis. We listen to all of our people that we listen to, and we come up with our plays. So I'd say like as far as confidence goes, I've got pretty low confidence in how we're going to do this week, but this is going to be the most fun betting because it's going to be a little bit more of a like Thanksgiving Day. I think that there's going to be sausage being made on the air as opposed to us coming in with like 4 or 5 that we actually are confident in the picks. I think we're going to have to make some of the sausage on air here.
It's also kind of just like 5 primetime games, maybe 6, because usually you're just like, okay, I have my Thursday and then Sunday night and then Monday. And it's like usually one of them sucks too. These are all pretty good from what I've seen. Like even then there's a Friday game. It's like the Amazon Black Friday special. Thank you, NFL.
Thank you for Tim Boyle.
3 tomorrow. Like I know they're all big spreads, but I don't hate the games. You know, sometimes you see a big spread and it's like, oh, Giants or like Jets or someone shitty. It's like I don't have a problem watching the Commanders against the Cowboys. The Packers is the one I'm like, but that spread only being at like 7, it might have moved to 8. And then obviously Niners Seahawks is sick. And the game will be closer and better because it's in Seattle. So I don't really have a problem with the game tomorrow. I don't know about you.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I think it's smart. Like,
football's football, but I'm just saying, like, it could be worse.
It could be worse.
We've seen some shitty games this year.
We've seen some shitty games this year, and I'm glad that it's all division rivals because it's kind of tough. I mean, the Thursday night game is tough enough on its own to have to do that short week. But for example, the Lions game, like, that's what, 9:30 Eastern or something?
Yeah.
Or 12:30 Eastern. Like,
yeah,
that's like early on a Thursday. Like, that's just like a bizarro time. So I'm glad that it's like Lions, Packers, teams that actually know each other. So it's not just like game planning doesn't completely go out the window.
Yeah. Like, for example, imagine if we had the Cowboys and Lions always play on Thanksgiving, but like, God, like it I don't know. It could be way worse. Like there's some games out there this week that are fucking terrible. Like Patriots, Giants. Like what if that was the night game? Because the night game's always not the Cowboys or the Lions. So like we had a chance for a shitty one and they hooked it up.
I secretly love Patriots, Giants, by the way.
Oh God. That's not going in my quad box. I'm not letting that happen.
All right. So I think we start it this way. I think we start with the Thursday games, and then after that, then we move on to the rest of the week. I think we should be forced to make a play on every one of these games, though. Every one of the Thursday and
prime time game, of course.
Oh my God. Oh, so I'm just looking at the lines right now. They could be different based on where you're looking. I'm just looking on ESPN. But these lines just keep climbing, and it's just a classic example of like one of the few times every year where like the public money just way vastly outweighs like any sharp syndicate money, because everyone's just betting on these games and everyone's betting on the favorites, and the lines are just ballooning. And it's scary. It's scary. It's really scary because the favorites on Thanksgiving just absolutely crush every single year. So,
but I feel like this year, like that stat has come out or blown up on Twitter.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the move. And I know like I'll take a look at this right now, but I know public money is on all the favorites. So like 72% on Detroit. Cowboys is kind of split. It's 13.5 now.
That's what you, dude. It was like 10.5. I'm pretty sure.
Holy shit.
I
So that's
know.
split now. That's ridiculous.
And I
And
feel like a
then
complete idiot because I got at them earlier in the
84% on
week.
Niners.
Oh my God. I got at these earlier in the week because I was like, I need to bet these now so I don't lose all my money betting college football and then I have nothing to watch. Or I have no investment in these games. And instead, and like I bet all dogs because I'm like, oh, those lines, like I'm just used to seeing like, oh, value. And then the lines have just ballooned so much more, like through key numbers. Like I have the Seahawks plus 6.5, which just feels disgusting right now. It's at +8. Depending on where you're looking. Cowboys open -9.5. I think I got it at 11. It's at 13.5. Absurd. Lions open 7.5, moved up to 8. And the one of the only weird ones is it seems like the money's coming in on the Jets.
Oh God. I mean,
because I got it at like 11.
It's kind of like what you make of it or what you make of the game against the Raiders. Like,
yeah,
was that the Raiders like actually playing good, or like was that the Dolphins like looking kind of shaky? Like Tua just had some of those games where he like turns the ball over. Like I don't know. Like Vegas maybe knew something with that line. Like 95% of the tickets were on the Dolphins, and it's like I take all my opinion out on that because I'm a Raiders fan. So like all my opinions are just going to be way different than others. I'm personally scarred from them going to the East Coast and watching them just get run over. So I was like, that probably will happen. But the Raiders defense is like 15th in the league this year, and usually it's like 30 to 32.
It's been low key good though, like the past like 4 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's been good. So I don't know how much of it was that, but like how much of it was mistakes. So it's kind of hard to tell. So that's what's hard about this Dolphins Jets game is like you don't know which week, like week in, week out, what Dolphins team you're gonna get. And I feel like that all goes on whether Tua throws picks. Cause there are some games where it's like in a Mike McDaniel offense, which people don't realize too. Like, if we're going to talk system quarterbacks here, let's have the conversation about Tua, like in the same light as Purdy. Like,
oh yeah,
Tua doesn't scramble. He doesn't make any like out of pocket plays. Like, Tua does a lot of the same things that Purdy does in a system offense. So I don't know why that has been brought up. Like, just because he maybe has a stronger arm, like, look at a lot of throws that Tua is making, dude. He has wide open fucking receivers.
Yeah,
so like, let's not like say that's that much different than Purdy, but yeah, I mean, there are some weeks he'll make mistakes. There are some weird weeks where like they have some 3 and outs. And I don't know how long A-Chain's out, but I'm leaning towards Jets there. I don't know about you, but I hate being on them. But
I mean, it's everyone's like leaning. It's kind of like I don't know. Zach Wilson's been so freaking bad that like I think everyone's talking themselves into Tim Boyle. Like the one he had like 2 drives. I don't think he threw a pick, but like somebody tweeted out his like college stats. Like he was like had significantly more interceptions in college than touchdowns. Like it makes no, and like his NFL career has been like dog shit. So if anything, he might actually be worse than Zach Wilson. But I've totally bought into the narrative that the Jets are going to be firing. I also think just the fact that like DraftKings, FanDuel are illegal in New York. I think that people are just with their families and a bunch of Jets fans, and they're just all hammering freaking Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing I'll say is sometimes a change of quarterback changes the mojo of the locker room. So I can get behind that. Like
a 1 week
new
Boyle
like,
bump.
Yeah, I mean, you just whether it's false hope or not, it's just a change, and people are obviously sick and tired of his shit. And they're just like, okay, we're finally done with him. Like, you know, you can believe when it's not even true that things are going to change, and then you play more inspired football. I don't know. Anything to like change it up, I think helps in general. So I can get behind that. Yeah, you send me his stats. They look fucking terrible. So I don't know what this guy is. For some reason, I feel like they tried to force the ball too much, like throwing it with Zach Wilson. And like maybe now they'll give Breece Hall 25 carries. If they do that, I think they cover. But like,
Yeah,
who
just a
knows what
bunch
their
of
game
screen
plan is?
passes. Bunch of screen
Yeah.
passes.
And it's like they treat him like they should have treated Zach Wilson, which is like handicap. Like, you only can do this much, so we're only going to let you throw, like, pretty much what the Patriots have been doing all year, 5-yard throws and screen passes. But here's the thing about the Jets is they have playmakers to make those plays where the Patriots don't. So like the Jets should take a page out of the Patriots book and just do that and let the guy gain some confidence. Let the team be like, okay, this is a new team, this and that. Because at the end of the day, all this team is doing is trying to hover around 500 for when Rodgers comes back, and if he does. So, and to me, that's setting the bar a little bit low too, right? It's like, let's be a 500 football team. It's kind of a losing mentality, but that's realistically where they're at with this season. But you know, who knows? It could be a complete disaster, and like the Dolphins could look good on offense and the Jets be a disaster on offense. And then I could see the Dolphins winning by 20, but who knows?
Okay. So I'm not ready to handicap that game quite yet, but I will say the first thing that just lights up in my head as part of like if we're building like a Thanksgiving, like can't lose max play parlay, I think the first leg of it is Tim Boyle to throw a pick. That's minus 250. I think we start there. We start there, and then we got to pick like one lock in each game, and then just create it somehow.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's an easy one.
Now I kind of like Tim Boyle to have 2 picks, to be honest, plus 150, but
I just don't think they're going to give him many opportunities to throw picks.
Okay. All right. So maybe just one. All right. 1 pick. And then, you think Goff throws a pick?
After last week, no.
No.
As weird as that sounds.
Okay. What about Dak to throw a pick?
Yeah, I can always get behind that.
Like he's a pick.
Ooh, the Commander secondary is really bad.
It's really bad. What do we do? Just maybe CD Lamb over receiving yards.
Like, what is that at 90?
Christ, it's at a disgusting 95.5. I can't get behind that.
No.
Is there a sacks? Like a defensive sacks? Over under sacks? Okay, all right. Micah Parsons to get a sack. Oh, minus 250? Dude, what are these odds?
What?
That seems like egregious. Like he will get one. That's why
minus 250 is crazy.
That's crazy.
Can I fade that somehow?
Yeah, wait, maybe. You could do
Should we go game by game here?
Yeah, okay, let's just go game by game. Okay, let's start with the morning game.
We'll get lost building parlays.
Yeah, we'll get lost. They'll come naturally. All right, first game, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. We got the Packers coming off a win, rolling in to Detroit, Ford Field, over under 47.5. This one's going to be an absolute shootout. I don't know if that's the right word, but there's just going to be a lot of points. Lions laying 8 right now. So I'm guessing you love the Lions.
Love the Lions. Jordan Love's had 3 good games. One of them was last week. He quietly had over 300 yards.
Chargers defense is trash.
Chargers defense is trash, but I don't see him having another game like that. And you know what's going to happen is they think like, oh, because they've done the same thing, or like LaFleur has done with him, which is like, we're going to run in like we're going to run an offense that tailors to him and does not, because he's a smart offensive coach, that doesn't require him making big time throws. But like I think they gained a little confidence from that game last week. Like, okay, 300 yards, like over 100, like passer rating, then he's gonna be exposed. Like that's what happened at the beginning of the season was like, we'd look at the stat lines and the quarterback rating was like 80 or something, but then his completion percentage was like the lowest in the league. So, I mean, maybe a rookie quarterback gains more confidence over time, but at the end of the day, I just think he's a bad player. And going back to the rule of like, do you trust him for a backdoor cover? I don't. he's one of the three. Like him, Zach Wilson, Bryce Young's in that conversation. I don't trust it. I do think the Lions, like a good team. We talked about this last week kind of, but people get worried about those games. But to me, that's a team that played shitty and still found a way to win. And I think they bounce back this week and fuck up the Packers.
He's very quietly got 16 touchdowns this year. That's not half bad. The guy throws. He's thrown a touchdown in every single game except for the Raider game, which was like his worst game. He had like 3 picks. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't mind him as a backdoor guy just because he slings it. He slings the freaking ball down the field. Very inaccurately, but like it's like some of those are bound to hit. And the Lions defense quietly. So I'll say right now I'm leaning Green Bay. Like when I first saw the line, I was like, I kind of want to fade the Lions because their defense, I want to be pro Lions because they win games like a team that's used to winning, which is kind of weird because they're not a winning franchise. Like they kind of just win. They win games like a veteran team that's like, been in like the NFC Championship a couple times in the last 5 years, like that sort of deal, which is impressive. But their defensive EPA was 8th through the first 4 games of the season. Since it's been 25th. Teams are, which is like hence the over under. So I'm just like, I guess I think the Lions are pretty safe to win the game, but I'm just a little scared of 8. I kind of think the Pack might be in for a backdoor cover. Here's some pro Lions stuff though. The Lions since 2012 as a favorite on Thanksgiving are 4-0 ATS.
Love that.
Since 1990 as a favorite on Thanksgiving, they're 10-1. And then since 2004, this applies to all 3 games. This is the scary stat. Since 2004, favorites on Thanksgiving are 46-8 straight up, 36-18 against the spread. So that's a little scary.
That's wild.
17-6 ATS teams that were favored by a touchdown or more. So
damn. But like I said, that stat's gone so public and the public's all over the favorites. It just, the tides have to turn.
I know. That's why I'm kind of thinking about just fading, I like being a dick. Like I kind of want to be the guy that's at like the craps table that's betting against everybody else to have a good time. Like I want to kind of bet the dogs.
I'm on the dogs for the other 2. We'll get to that, but
so in this Packers team, I don't know. I mean, I bet on them 2 weeks in a row. They almost beat the shitty ass Steelers. I think they lost the cover by 1. Beat the shitty Chargers. Yeah, I don't know.
Would you say they're kind of the team like you feel like the least about in a way?
Yeah, especially like AJ Dillon Aaron Jones is out. AJ Dillon's kind of just like a big fat slow Eddie Lacy now. I kind of like if you're going like sleeper guys to score touchdowns in that game, I kind of like Jaden Reed because last game when Aaron Jones went down, they used him as a running back and he had like 4 for 40 and a touchdown and he was like 4 for 40 receiving. So maybe that's a little sneaky. Christian Watson's just kind of a bust.
Yeah, he's been exposed without Rodgers. Holy shit.
I'm on Raw. Like he's like guaranteed just to be a reliable, like 8 for 95, maybe a touchdown. But it's too difficult to bet that because that's basically where he's lined at these days.
Yeah. For good reason, but yeah, it's tough.
Okay. So you know what? I like Laporta today. I like Laporta to score a touchdown because he's been a little bit quiet, but he's like still like their second. He runs the second most routes on the team still.
Laporta breakout game.
This is one of my favorite bets. And for some reason I didn't do it last week, which just is a huge bummer. But like Jameson Williams is always lined at like 17.5 receiving yards. And like, he's always like 6-1 to score a touchdown. So like you just move that up and do like an alt, like over 35 yards. and then include a touchdown in there. And then that's just banking on if he gets the one deep ball for the touchdown, then you get it all on one play. And that's like usually like 9-10 to 1. Happened last week. Happened like 2 weeks ago.
Lock it in.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to lock it in. All right. Next game. So like for people to know, I have already bet on the Packers. I got them at a terrible 7.5. But yeah, the Lions are gonna win. I think this is like I think it's safe to put them. I think that it's safe to put them in like money line parlays and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, next game, Cowboys Commanders. This one is difficult for me because the first instinct says Sam Howell bounce back game, but Dak kind of owns the Commanders, and they're so good versus shitty teams, but they don't have a shitty quarterback.
Are the Commanders that shitty though?
They're pretty shitty. They've lost to the Giants twice.
They're not like the shit though.
No, they're not like total shit, but they are frisky.
They've shown flashes. I don't understand the spread, to be honest with you. I don't. Like, I was shocked it moved to 13.5. Like, I feel like the Cowboys play well at home, but when it's in a big spot, they seem to fuck up. And I feel like this would be the time, like Thanksgiving, everyone watching, like they somehow mess this up. Like,
Dak MVP's just starting.
Yeah, like I could easily see them just coming out and just laying an egg like on Thanksgiving. I don't know. And here's the thing about the Cowboys, and with shitty teams, there's nothing you can do about it because you're that bad. And I don't think the Commanders are in this conversation. But when you're playing in prime time, and I'm just going to call these games prime time because they are on Thanksgiving, like if this is, keep this in mind. This is an in-division game, and you're almost getting 2 touchdowns.
I know.
Usually, if an in-division game is 7 or over, you hammer whoever's getting that many points. And the Commanders are a good 4-7. Like usually 4-7 is pretty shit. They're a good 4-7, and you're getting almost 2 touchdowns on an in-division game on a team that's not incompetent. Like usually this team would be completely incompetent for this spread. So I don't understand the spread. I like really think they put it at 13.5 because it's like everyone's gonna take the Cowboys. Like, okay, they just have to win by 2 touchdowns. I don't know, man. I really like the Commanders here. Like, this is like borderline pick of the week for me. I fucking love them.
I mean, if this was on a Sunday,
they're not just gonna, like the Commanders aren't just gonna lay it like over against the Cowboys either. Like this game like still means a lot to them. I think. Like they hate the Cowboys. It's an in-division game. They would love to fuck up the Cowboys season. And it's on Thanksgiving. They want to show out. Like, I don't know. I think they're going to get like, they're going to give them their best. And like their best is way better than 14 points.
I guess it just scares me because the Cowboys, like, this is like their last like semi-easy game. And then they have an absolute gauntlet. So,
yeah, so huge let-up spot.
Then they go Seahawks, Eagles, Bills, Dolphins.
Smart money is all over the Commanders. Like the sharp money.
So like, but if we're playing this out in our heads, like, I guess the thing that scares me is like Cowboys pick 6, Cowboys 1,000,000 sacks. But I guess the difference is like everyone knows that the Cowboys are good versus shitty teams in covering these huge spreads versus shitty teams. But for the most part, the shitty teams this year have like they've such shit quarterbacks and offenses that like it's like once you get up by a certain amount, like there literally is no possibility of a backdoor. Like there's no possibility of a backdoor with the Giants. There's no possibility of a backdoor with the Panthers. There's no possibility of a backdoor with the Jets. Like it's once you get up on these shitty quarterbacks, it's just over. So, yeah, Hal's so frisky. Damn, I kind of maybe just want to bet the over on this. Yeah, okay. I mean, I've already bet Commanders. Lean.
Yeah, I love it.
Love it. Okay, then we got the nightcap. Niners, Seahawks in Seattle. This is an all-time uniform matchup. It is going to be a peak. The Niners are rocking the all-white like 94 throwbacks. And the
Nice.
Seahawks are wearing the like neon
Damn.
jerseys. Yeah, so it's
Hell
gonna
yeah.
absolutely pop nighttime.
Damn.
Gino's gonna play. I guess my concern is like the Niners are a tad overvalued right now, probably. Like this is like it was like once they beat the Jags, they immediately went to like back to being the highest valued team in the NFL. And let me see. I tweeted this out earlier because I saw that the Niners were favored by 1 versus the Eagles. Let me see what's okay. It's now gone to pick 'em, but still, pick 'em next week at the Eagles is fucking bananas. Like they're saying
That's
definitively
wild.
the Niners are a good amount better than the Eagles.
So this started at like 5.5.
It started at 5.5. It's at 8 right now.
It's at 8?
At least it says wait, I think it says 8 on ESPN. Let me see.
Oh, it says 7.
Oh, it says 7.
I was gonna say, holy shit. This won't get over a touchdown.
I'm seeing minus 7.5 plus 105. So like it's moving to 8. Like it probably will be 8 tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm seeing 7 everywhere.
Really?
Like 3 different spots.
Okay. Never mind then.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, either way, our point, the line moved a lot in Niners' favor. I think, honestly, this has a lot to do with how valued they are. But I think it's a combination of both, dude. Like, the Seahawks have looked like shit. The Seahawks started good. We were high on them. Like, Gino looked good. But then all of a sudden, Gino throws a bunch of picks in the red zone. Their defense at first looked good. We were like, oh, all this young talent on defense. The defense looks a little shaky. Like Witherspoon is great at corner, but outside in the secondary, it's not good. And just overall, like now their defense is ranked. It went from like 3 to like 12 just within the last like 6 weeks, which is a huge drop off. Like you don't just lose power rankings defensively that quickly. But it's more the offense. Like Gino last year, like surprised all of us. Like, whoa, like his completion percentage was like the highest in the league. But I think that just caught people by surprise and like off guard. And now it's like they have all this film on him from last year, and he's just getting exposed a little bit. He's throwing a lot of picks in the red zone, and he's had a lot of opportunities to win games, and he's not putting them away. That being said, that's I guess back to my point. I think it's both ways. Like the Niners have been looking really good, and then the Seahawks have like been regressing. But like I know we talk about this in division shit a lot, but that does mean a lot to me, and it means a lot to Sharps. Like
and Seahawks
in division games, these coaches know each other.
Yeah, Carroll does well versus Shanahan.
Specifically, know each other better than most. Yeah, and this is going to be, I would assume, the loudest crowd in Seattle all year.
Yeah.
And it's a night game, and it's versus the Niners, and Seattle potentially has the loudest crowd in the NFL. So this is like, talk about a hostile environment. Like this is going to be top 5 of the year, I would say, of games in the NFL. Like Thanksgiving primetime in Seattle against the Niners in division game. This is up there.
And listen to this Seahawks gauntlet they've got coming up. Like, because now people are talking about like, you know, so they blew that. That was a horrible fucking loss versus the Rams. They absolutely should have won that game. That's one thing I will say in the Seahawks' favor is like people saw that and they're like, oh my God, you know, they lost to the Rams, but they really should have beat the Rams. They really outplayed the Rams until Drew Lock came in. But the Seahawks like have to, they need a win badly because the Rams have a chance of coming from behind and catching them. This is the Seahawks' next 4. They're this game versus the Niners. Then the following week, they're going at Dallas. Then they're going at Niners. Then they're going home Eagles. So like that's like they could go 0 for 4. And if they go 0 for 4, like the Rams, they're the Rams come. They're a Kuman.
I mean, even in that's like either way outside of the division, they're number 6 right now in the playoff battle.
Sweaty.
It's weird though. The NFC, it really drops off after 7.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, either way though, they need to win for their mojo. I think is the biggest thing.
They have no mojo. They came out of that bye and they just have not had any mojo.
Yeah, but so all that being said, I think they keep it within the touchdown. I think that Pete Carroll knows them well enough. I think it's going to be a tough environment to play in. I don't think people are talking about that enough, which is weird. Yeah, Seattle's defense is a mess. That's what I was saying. Like, it started off so good. Everyone's like, oh, Witherspoon, this rookie corner from Illinois. Like, they still have good outside rush. Like, no, they don't. It hasn't been that good. So I think they keep within a touchdown. I think this is going to be the biggest sweater of any spread for some reason. Like, this just seems like right there. Like,
the money line is
loved Niners under a touchdown. I would have loved it.
Yeah.
Like at 5.5, I love the Niners touchdown. Ooh, like, but I could see this being like 21-17. That seems about right. Somewhere in that area. I don't know what the over under is.
It's going to be really key for the Niners. Okay.
I think this game goes under 44 for sure.
This is what I'm going to oh, this is a total, like this is a field goal game. This unlocks the field goal game prop. Over 3.5, 100%. Jason Myers bounce back game after missing the field goal. Moses Moody is going to kick a few. I think this is what Steph from so deep. Oh, damn. Dude, Phoenix -2.5, easy. Debo Kittle feast versus Seattle last year. Versus Seattle. Debo didn't even play last year in Seattle. Yeah, and Brock Purdy won that game with the hurt thumb. This is what I'm thinking. This is a little bit me in my head concocting just like the best possible Thanksgiving night. But I think this is the first game where we get the Brock Purdy come from behind. I think the Seahawks maybe jump them early and we finally get the Brock Purdy come from behind. Yeah, we need it. We all need it. In those uniforms, we need an entire Friday of like.
I think you guys need it. I think you guys trust Purdy, but it just would feel so good to shut everyone up.
Need to. Absolutely need to. And then
prime time television on Thanksgiving. That'd be great.
And then the Eagles game coming after that. Yeah, that's what I like. So yeah, I'd like Seattle. I like Seattle plus the money.
Great game.
It's a great game. It's a great game. I think all three of these money, which in terms of like confidence factor, what would you rank it in terms of like you'd be shocked if they were upset? I think number one for me.
No.
Oh, who just got thrown? Oh, Chris Paul just got thrown out. Oh, dude, can't do that.
Whatever.
Okay, so I think in terms of my confidence level in dubs in money line, it's probably number one Cowboys, number 2 Lions, number 3 Niners.
I like that.
I think that's it. And then okay.
Lions, I think mine's Commanders first, then Lions, then Seahawks.
Oh, but I'm just saying like in terms of money line.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
Because
right.
one of these is going to fuck us, right? Like it's too easy for everyone to just do the 3-team 7-point teams. The Manders.
I mean, Seattle's the most likely team to win.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's just according to spreads, I guess, but I think who knows? I like across the board though, I have no problem with this slate. I'm fucking pumped.
MF said, I heard about Ryan's baseball bets for Rangers. Legendary. Thank you, man. Yeah, you guys got to realize that me and Cassidy we both have been able to do Cassidy, as of late, he's got the golden touch for picking the team like the year before they get good. He's like locks in on them. So he had the Orioles, who I also had Orioles to win the AL East. That was great. He had the Orioles the year before they got good. He had the Lions the year before they got good. And this year,
I had the Lions way back in the day.
Oh, you did?
Like, well, no, I started this like 3 years ago
3
when
years
they had
ago.
losing records.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you jumped on the Magic last year. And now the Magic just beat the Nuggets and they're just the best defense in the league and they're like 9-5. It's sick. Okay. Let's talk about the Jets Dolphins game. I don't even know how I'm going to go about watching this. Like, it just feels weird. It's at 12. It's at 12 o'clock on a
I
Friday.
think that's the right time.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought about it.
It's like the hungover game, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, it's not too late. And there's like a lot of sports that day. So it's like the middle of the day. I think it is the perfect time, low key.
Okay. As long as we keep
genius idea by Amazon. Like, it's Black Friday and it's just like the Amazon Black Friday day. Like, they're killing it. Everything they're doing.
Killing it.
So good for them. I kind of touched on this earlier, but I think how you handicap this game is all based on what your perception is of that Dolphins Raiders game. Like, did the Raiders play good on defense? Does the Raiders defense actually look good this year, which it has? But then, like, Tua, it looks stagnant at times. I think it's the right word. Like, it's weird with the Dolphins because like they rely on big plays so much. You do see a lot of 3 and outs. Like, if they don't hit that first play on a drive, then they look a little bit lost sometimes. But the Dolphins also had a million chances to cover in that game. So like, I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. Like, I love the stats you pulled on Boyle. He's not that good. I do think like maybe it'll change the mojo with like the locker room in the first quarter, but like that can only go so far when a guy's that bad. I think their only chance to cover is if they run Breece Hall like 30 times. But I mean, obviously the Dolphins are going to stack the box. So
I mean, over under in that game is 41.
That's crazy.
That's pretty low for a Dolphins game.
That's the lowest Dolphins probably game this year.
Huh. I mean, I guess I kind of like the Jets. I like the Jets for the one game blow bump. And yes, dude, Graves, Scott Foster is such a clown. Just murdering Chris Paul wherever he goes. Okay, yeah. And definitely going to be all over the Boyle interception. I think this is another huge field goal game candidate.
Is Tyreek good? Like, he's a little questionable.
Tyreek's good. H-N's probably out. So
I like the Dolphins. I don't know. I feel like the Jets, I don't like money's still on the Dolphins, but are we just saying that the Jets are the right bet? I feel like this spread is dying for me to pick the Jets. And that's why I'm going the other way. Like, I thought money was going to be all over the Jets with that spread.
Yeah.
But maybe we're smarter.
I don't know. I mean, they did get housed by the freaking Bills. I don't know. Well, yeah, so we're through those games. Let's move on to the weekend games and let's go. I still have not like had a best bet. I just have sides that I like on everyone. Yes, I will bet. Okay, I'm gonna start with the most annoying game, possibly of the season. We got Saints at Falcons. Falcons at home. They're both off a bye. Looks like Derek Carr is gonna play. Falcons favored by 1. Do you have a play on this game?
Yeah, I love the Falcons.
You love the Falcons?
God damn it. Yes. I love them.
What happened in their first matchup? I got to look. This first one of the year.
And this, not love enough to put it in my top 5, but like, I don't know. Falcons at home, Saints are coming off a bye, but I mean, this is a like winner go home game for the Falcons. That's why I like them. Like, if they drop this, they go to 4-7 and their season's toast. From where it was is crazy. And I think they're literally playing with their backs completely against the wall. I do think because that stadium gets pretty loud actually. And like for an in-division game with the backs against the wall, I think it does. I don't think the Saints have enough firepower on offense to go into Atlanta and win a game like this. I just can't see it. But again, this game I think is a definition of a coin flip, and the line saying that.
Desmond Ridder. Dude, I was trying to look back at like the series history, like if there's anything that we're missing. I don't know. I'm starting in. I'm just gonna say the last 2 years because before that, you have Breeze. I don't count that. But last year, New Orleans, when it was home, New Orleans was home. They won by 3, and when they were at the Falcons, they won by 1. The year before that, they won by 10 at Atlanta, and then at home they lost by 2. So this is like a super close. This is going to be super close.
Yeah, I mean, what's the spread saying? Like,
yeah, I have no lean either way. It probably will be in the box.
It will be, unfortunately.
It will be, unfortunately.
Will make us.
Actually, you know what? I like the Falcons. The Falcons are tentatively in one of my 5. Because also they had that they lost to the Cardinals.
What if I told you this though?
What?
92% of the cash is on the Falcons.
Oh. I mean, this game's gonna suck. Okay, let's skip over this game for a second. Okay, Steelers on the road, on the road, lane 1.5 at the Bengals. What are we thinking here?
This game's annoying.
This game's annoying. I
thought when you said the most annoying game of the week, I thought it was going to be this one. Like, this is the teams with like the best records and should be the best game just based on like looking at it. And it's the worst game of all time. This is going to be an ugly ass game. Like, what are the Steelers going to do on offense? Like, just because you fired Matt Canada doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to be able to magically move the ball with Kenny Pickett. And people want to say it was all his fault, not Kenny Pickett's. I don't know, man. At the end of the day, you do see guys with shitty coordinators or shitty weapons make plays, and he has weapons. So, like, he's not even able to, like, throw the ball up to, like, Pickens. And I don't know. I think this new offensive coordinator is going to actually have a brain and, like, just say, let's run the ball with Najee and Warren. Like, that is a good backfield. Like, say what you want to say about Najee. Like, he's regressed a lot, but, like, I still think that backfield's super productive. And I think they'll run the fucking rock and, like, open up a, like, play action packs. So I like the Steelers here. I think what's his name? Browning's going to go in and shit his pants. Like, an in-division game, like, Tomlin's going to eat him alive.
All right. I love the Bengals. I love them. Plus 1.5. I'm just using the rule. The Steelers are so shitty. They should not be laying points on the road versus just about anybody. And I think the Bengals are still a decent team with Browning. And like, I think that they're going to get the one. Well, it's kind of like a 1-game bump off. So I think the Steelers are going to get a little bit of a bump with Matt Canada being gone. Just like, even if it doesn't actually change anything, it's kind of like when Matt Canada moved to the field from the booth, they got a 1-game bump. Like, I think this is just a 1-game psychological offensive bump, especially after losing the Browns. But I think that what is an even bigger bump is the nobody believes in us. Our season's written off. Lou Anarumo, whatever the hell, however you say his name, like, he's going to be a dog this weekend. He's going to get the boys up. They're still like thinking like we still have a chance at the playoffs. I think the Bengals win this one. I think the Bengals defense shows up. And I think that, I mean, speaking of weapons, I mean, he still has Jamar Chase. You still have Joe Mixon. I think they'll be able to score enough. I mean, I really think it's going to come down to like who can score more. And I kind of trust the Bengals more, even with Browning. Jake Browning, Kenny Pickett, what's really the difference?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully this is a good game. We'll see.
I think it'll be in one of my boxes.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to watch though at times for sure.
100%. Okay. Next game is Panthers at Titans. Another just disgusting fucking game. Titans laying 3.5, laying the lumber. What do you think?
I have no play on this game. And like, I'll take the Panthers, I guess, but that has no backing to it. I have no idea. The Titans have looked absolutely terrible. I don't think they care. And the Panthers, it's like maybe we see Bryce Young not looked completely inept, but who knows? I have no play on this and won't watch it.
Yeah, I don't think I have a play either.
Like, this is worse than the Patriots game.
I bet if anything, I kind of like the over in this game. 36.5. I kind of like Bryce Young to have a good game versus the Tennessee dog shit secondary. And I kind of like Will Levis at home here in this spot after a couple, sketch weeks. I like maybe to score some points. Yeah, you know what? I like the over. I like
this
the
is
over.
A big game for Bryce Young, though, low key, like
high key
confidence. Is he like really, really bad? Like he needs to show something this week, dude, against this Tennessee secondary. Like you said, he needs to show something because we can only blame the weapon so long. When you're playing a bad team in a bad secondary, you need to show, you can do something, and he needs to this week.
Oh wait, but Frank Reich got fired, right?
Yes.
Oh, who's the interim?
Did he?
I wait. I just like care so little that I don't realize. Frank Reich. Oh, no, he didn't get fired. Panthers coach Frank Reich says the team has an us against the world mentality at 1-9. Huh. Okay.
He's running out of things to say.
He's running out. Okay. Yeah, he's like, this is like their last chance to rally the boys. Okay. Yeah, fuck that game. All right, let's get into some juicier ones. Ooh. Colts laying 2.5 at home. Jim Irsay's back on the pills. He's tweeting out crazy things. He thinks he's discriminated against by cops because he's a white billionaire, and just tweeting out tweets that I honestly you could only understand if you were on drugs or drunk. So all that to say, give me the Colts. I've been fiending for the Colts. We haven't had the chance to bet them the last week. Gotta lay the lumber with the Colts. I think Minshew's gonna actually look good this week. He's gonna torch that Tampa secondary. Yeah, I mean everybody's been torching Tampa, so I think this is gonna be just another crazy Colts kind of Bucks game. But give me the Colts to cover as one of my 5.
Yeah, I think weird Minshew game. 2 of the corners are out for Tampa. Secondary's beat up. I think Minshew goes crazy in this game. We're gonna see a weird, like, holy shit, Gardner Minshew on the scene game. Irsay, like, is hilarious, but doesn't affect how the team plays. So whatever.
Only positive.
Only positive.
Okay.
All right. And the Colts are 5-5.
They've got their eyes on the playoffs, boys.
So this is huge. But here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna be like they do every week, mark my word. They will be playing from behind in the fourth quarter at home, and they will find a way to win by 3.
All right. I kind of like them to get up early and then relinquish the lead. And then
every time at home they play from behind, it will happen, and they'll win on a game-winning field goal.
All right. I'm in for that. Okay, next game I actually love also. 33.5 over under. We got the Tommy DeVito Giants at home. New England Patriots rolling to town off a bye. I don't even know if it's Mac Jones or if it's Bailey Zappi. Does it matter? No. Oh, it's Zappi. All right. That's even better. So I got this line when it was at Patriots -3. I'm now seeing 3.5. But I'm going to just cheat and use Patriots -3. I love the Patriots -3. I love the Patriots to win, and I love the Patriots and the Patriots fans to just be so bummed out in another Giants game because they're going to win this game, and it's going to keep them from getting one of the elite quarterbacks because the Giants are going to take that spot. The Patriots are going to be just a little bit – they're going to end up with like the 5th pick, and they'll get some offensive tackle.
Yeah, I don't have like a serious play on this game. I like the Patriots. I think if there's ever a bump with a new quarterback, the whole locker room hated Mac Jones.
Hated.
So, like, that's a huge that is actually a significant thing to not have him, and everyone's like, okay, like, fuck Mac Jones, let's go, let's do this. I don't know. I think Belichick, out of any coach, can spin it some way to make his team play hard, or he demands the respect for them to play hard enough. I think Tommy DeVito had his one game Like, that's cute, but you still suck. And I think they get destroyed.
Yeah, like this is like there couldn't be a better time to bet on the Giants than after Tommy DeVito actually looks competent.
Yeah.
Also, this line opened 6.
85% of the public's on the Giants. Give me the Patriots.
Yeah, what the hell? It opened 6 on the look ahead, and it is now. And the Patriots have done nothing. They've just been on a bye. It's just Tommy DeVito looked okay. So that's maybe
and Belichick against rookie quarterbacks.
Oh my God, he's gonna have a field day.
And they literally could. The Patriots sat there and just got a full game tape on Tommy DeVito last week on a bye. They're going to annihilate him.
Dude, you know what? I'm gonna say Patriots alternate. Give me the alternate line. Give me like Patriots minus 10.5. Like I want Patriots like big because that is very well a possibility.
Yeah, DeVito sucks.
Dude, Bailey Zappi off a bye. Tommy DeVito. Yeah. Oh, give it to me.
Yeah.
Love 100%. Love it. Love it. Okay. Next game is this is the game of the week, maybe. I'm not sure. I think it's got to be. Texans at home hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags are favored by 2. 48.5 over under. Are we Stroud boys or are we not? Yeah, I mean, it's just are we Stroud boys or are we not Stroud boys? Because this is the day. This is the game. This is like basically for the division. They're gonna nut up. I love Stroud. They should have won that game by a zillion versus the Cardinals. They just threw 3 red zone picks. Trevor Lawrence is a bitch. Trevor Lawrence padded his stats with a couple rushing touchdowns. We all know he gets really shitty when he gets inside the 20 and he actually has to throw a touchdown. Yeah, give me Stroud, bro. Give me Stroud and the Texans to just roll. Like this is going to be the most electric atmosphere I feel like in that Houston Texans stadium in a while.
God, just because I'm loyal to being a Stroud boy, like I like the Texans, but God, I kind of like the Jags in this spot a little bit.
You do.
Like 92% of the cash on the Texans. Everyone's like, "Oh, CJ Stroud, this and that." The Jags are
the lines moving. That's what's scary is that the cash is all over the Texans, but the line keeps moving towards the Jaguars.
Yeah, but with that said,
they're like, "Please bet on the Texans."
I do like your point. Like this is the biggest game in Houston in 5 years. Maybe like the one thing like the Texans can do to back this up, like no one talks about their defense. They have a top 12 defense in the league and Stroud is unbelievable. Like I've hyped him up enough. I don't need to hype him up anymore, but they have a top 12 defense in the league under D'Amico Ryans. Like, and that's what happened. Like their defense wasn't amazing in that game when he threw 3 picks, but it was resilient. And that's all it needs to be in the NFL sometimes. Like have a resilient D that can give you a stop and get it back in your star quarterback's hands. I do like he's proved me wrong in a lot of these spots. Stroud has, because like you've been waiting for that rookie moment, but like he almost had one in the last game with 3 picks, but then he comes down and just has a crazy like last drive or like last like 4th quarter. And it's like, I'm done with the rookie stuff. I'm done with it. This guy looks like a seasoned veteran out there. And a lot of problems that could go wrong in this game correct themselves at home. Like going into Jacksonville, I would not feel good about this game. But like being at home, the home crowd bump, like defense plays better at home. Mistakes don't mean as much at home. And Singletary's been playing great, dude. Like, I don't know what happened to Dameon Pierce, but like the run game has been good too. Like they just seem like around the clock are a good football team. Like usually we'll be like, oh, the defense. Yeah, I don't know. Everything seems to be looking good. And it's crazy because they're basically saying that the Jags are 4 points better than the Texans. I don't know about that. I'll take the Texans. I think Vegas is pissed
also if we get
on the Texans.
If we go if we go since 2010, The Jags are 21, or the Texans are 21-5 against the Jags. So it's just like, it's just you can't really explain it. It's just sheer ownage. And like even recently, it's been just extreme ownage. So give me the Texans.
Yeah.
Okay, next game. That game's gonna be fucking awesome. Okay. Oh, what the next? Okay, Browns at Broncos. Broncos laying 1.5. It was 2.5 earlier in the week. I'll just say I love the Browns. Give me the Browns. The Broncos are flying high. They're on like what, a 5-game win streak. Their last 3 or 4 games, they're like +10 in turnover margin. Like it's just it's just like super lucky, unsustainable, turnover luck. So they really should not have beat the Vikings. So this is more a bet against the Broncos. And then DTR, Joe Flacco, whoever it is, give me the Brownies. Give me the Brownies catching points.
This game's tough for me. Like, I agree. I think we talked earlier in the week with exactly what you said. Like, the Broncos are overrated completely. Sean Payton's like literally limiting Russell Wilson. He's like making him a system quarterback and making him only throw 30 times a game. But I heard a lot of this week, like, oh, like the Broncos are relying on their run. Dude, they had like 45 rush yards last game. There's no run game to be had there. So that's what worries me.
Especially not versus the Browns, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what worries me. So I love the Browns here, actually, the more I talk about it.
And like, think about like the Broncos defense has gotten better, but it's gotten better defending the pass. It's still as shitty versus the run. And that's all the Browns are going to do is run the fucking ball, shove it, stew up the Broncos, stew in the Broncos b-hole.
The line just doesn't make much sense to me in general.
So doesn't. Disrespectful. Okay, next game is Rams at Cardinals. This game is a little scary. I really want to bet the Rams, but it's scary. It's a scary line.
Literally anything could happen in this game.
Oh, Rams -1.5 on the road. This game was like even for a while. You like the Cardinals?
Yeah, nothing crazy, like no insane edge, but I'm pretty split on this. I don't know.
I'm pretty split on it too. Like, this is the kind of game that I need to just ingest some more like information, and like come Friday, I'll probably have a strong take on it. But as of right now, I think
like the Cardinals.
I think I would lean Rams, but no, I can't bet this one yet. I do
crazy on this.
It'll be a fun ass game though, that's for sure. Okay, now the next one is Chiefs at Raiders. So this line has completely plummeted. It was at 9.5 or 10 or something like that earlier in the week. Chiefs look not great. Doesn't seem like they can get margin anymore. They're at the Raiders. The Raiders, good vibes going on. Defense is better. What are we thinking?
The Chiefs own the Raiders.
Yeah, have they ever beat Mahomes?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs have one loss in division play on the road in the AFC West since Mahomes has been a starter.
But that one was this year.
Yeah, I know we're just talking about wins, but still, they've been convincing wins.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I saw someone talk about something kind of crazy, which is like Kelsey's being utilized less because he's having to block more because the offensive line is so bad, which kind of plays in the Raiders' favor because they've had a good pass rush this year, obviously with Crosby, but other people have stepped up. So that makes me think it'll be a little bit closer than like you think. I like at the end of the day, dude, the Chiefs still have they always seem to, or like since Tyreek, they have receiver problems. Like Rashid Rice is like at best a number 2 receiver, and he's an average one.
Oh,
And
at best,
him being your
2 or
go-to, and
3.
then Kelsey having to block more now, and this offense just isn't the same. Like, this is a defensive team right now. As crazy as that is, they are.
Oh, absolutely.
And the one thing though with the Raiders, like Aiden O'Connell, like they win that game last week with many other quarterbacks in the league. Like he's bottom 10 easily, if not bottom 7. He's just not a playmaker. But there's no like real home crowd advantage here. The Chiefs travel super well to Vegas. I don't have any hope the Raiders are going to win, if that makes you feel better, but I don't have a play on the game.
Yeah, I don't have a play on the game either. I'd pass, but I like
the under in this game. The Chiefs Raiders games always seem to go under.
Yeah, I mean, I like as far as like the Raiders having a chance to pull an upset on the Raiders having a chance to pull an upset on the Chiefs. This is like probably the most tailor-made spot, which means they're probably gonna get blown out. All right. Okay, next game. By the way, Warriors Suns minus 2.5 at home. It was just free money. Okay. Eagles home for the Buffalo Bills. Now, we talked about this and we said we're 100% hammering the Bills. We all have a great feeling about the Bills. It's going to be huge. But the Eagles somehow won, and like the line just like went down to 3. It went from 3.5 to 3, and now it's kind of like circling a little bit back up to 3.5.
Yeah.
Well, what are we thinking here? I mean, it almost makes me feel like is Jalen Hurts like actually hurt? Like, what's up with this disrespect?
This line's so fishy.
It's the fishiest line I've ever seen, except for the Niners line following week.
I honestly just kind of like the Eagles here now, which is frustrating.
I know. I wanted it to balloon and then to take the Bills.
I thought it was going to be like 5, and I love 5. 3.5, dude. Eagles at home, and again, these 125 games on the East Coast, this is a night game.
Yeah, this is a night game.
I like the Eagles here. I would feel stupid taking the Bills, like not taking the Eagles by like around a field goal at home against the Bills, who have looked so rocky this year. I feel like they want everyone to be on the Bills. Like this line like makes it seem like, oh, this game's going to be close, versus like if it was 5, I feel like there'd be way more money on the Eagles than 3.5, if that makes any sense. But
yeah. I know, I get you.
Like when it's 3.5, it's like them telling everyone, oh, this game's going to be close, when realistically the Eagles are just a way better team across the board. So like if they're only saying the Eagles are 1.5 points better than the Bills, that's where I'm just like, game over. I'm taking the Eagles when I think about that.
Okay, I think that I love this game for a teaser. I want to be connecting my teasers to the Bills.
Yeah, dude, 80% of the cash in public money is on the Bills.
So, but I like the teaser up to 10.5 with the Bills because I do think they're going to keep it close, and of course they're going to backdoor if that's a possibility. Yeah, I have like really a lot of confidence in that, and I'm trying to see what else I would tie it to. I guess I'd probably tie. Honestly, I'm a little scared of tying it to the Texans. Get the Texans up to +9. Okay, honestly, I think I would tie it to the Bengals. Get the Bengals up to +8.5 at home versus the Steelers. And I think that's like a absolutely money 2-team tease.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm going to run that. I'm going to run the shit out of that, actually. Yes, that will be done. That will, yeah. Okay. The next game, another just fishy ass game, the Sunday night game. I'm going to stay away from betting this until it gets closer to Sunday night. I mean, for one thing, this is absolutely smash the over 3.5 field goals game. Ravens at Chargers. Justin
100%.
Tucker, frickin' Dicker, the kicker. Those guys both are going to be crushing field goals. Ravens are scary without Mark Andrews. They did house the Texans without him, and Isaiah Likely's pretty damn good. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like every fucking Chargers game is a 3-point game. So I don't know. What do you think? It seems like the Ravens should be favored.
I'm gonna make this pretty simple here.
Okay, make it simple.
I'm gonna take the Ravens, beating them by 4, with or without Andrews, on a neutral turf, and fade the public who's on the Chargers.
Oh,
that's it.
On the Chargers. Oh, and
Them
the Ravens
the
also
Chargers by 4 on a neutral field and fade the public who's on the Chargers. That's it.
They also are coming off extra rest. The Ravens are.
It's simple.
Oh,
it's free.
God. Oh,
I love
goodness.
it. I'm throwing on it now before it moves like 4.5 or 5.
Oh, that's accurate. Oh,
I love it right now.
Okay, I do kind of love it. Joe Stevens says, "Go Hawks! Our secondary best in the NFL." Talking Seahawks here. I mean, I actually don't know who the best secondary in the league is. I mean, you would have said like the Jets at the beginning of the year. I mean, maybe it is the Seahawks.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I don't know. Browns. Okay. All right. That means we've gone through all the games, and then Monday night, interesting. What are we feeling? Vikes at home, laying 3.5. Bears coming to town. I don't know.
Are we gonna do a show on Friday? Because when am I gonna give out my college picks?
I'm so down to do a show on Friday. Yeah. Maybe this is just kind of you know what? This is like the preview. This is like a preview of our thoughts. This is scattered thoughts, and we'll have so much conviction on Friday. Maybe we even do it during the Dolphins game.
Yeah.
Or after. I don't know. So why don't we come up with some sort of prop parlay on the spot, and then we can call it a show.
Okay.
For the 4 games.
Are we including Friday?
We're including Friday.
This is going to be random as hell.
Random. All right.
For anyone listening, which isn't many, get on Toledo tonight.
Yep. Holy Toledo. Holy pick. Let's see. Prop builder. I wonder what Jameson Williams line is. We're definitely doing interception for what's his face. What's Boyle? Boyle interception, definitely. And then in the Lions game, receiving yards.
Tyreek only at 75 is wild.
Damn, that's a lot of love. Jameson Williams, no. He's been adjusted. Shit, man, I don't know.
I like this a lot right now. I'm gonna do this. Montgomery over 75 rush and receiving yards. Debo over 10 rush yards, and Purdy over 189 passing yards.
Okay. I also like Dak. I like Dak to go kind of nuts just because Pollard never scores touchdowns, and they're so obsessed with the passing touchdowns. I like Dak over touchdowns, whatever the line is. Let's see, even if it's 2.5, I like it. God. Where are you, Dak? Touchdowns. Dak. Passing touchdowns. Okay, Dak to have 2 passing touchdowns is minus 200. Do we go to 3? That's kind of sketch. Damn, maybe we just don't have a parlay. I don't know. I need to really analyze this, and I feel like it's probably boring to listen to us scroll through our things. All right. Well, that'll do it for us then. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Go Niners.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Warriors fucking suck. And bet on Toledo.
See ya.